Now we finally get to put lawmakers to the test. Do they stand with the 85% of Americans who support net neutrality, or do they stand with the profiteers, the ISPs like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T? We'll find out immediately. On May 9th, we're going to put legislators to the test because they'll have to vote on whether or not they support taking away the FCC's very unpopular vote, 3-2, to dismantle net neutrality, or if maybe they are in the pocket of someone and are receiving some sort of monetary gain from the prospect. This is a really crazy idea because Americans, left and right, overwhelmingly support net neutrality, and yet lawmakers are working in the opposite direction. And then if you're able to look up campaign finances, there is a definite connection. But on this date, there will be lawmakers, could restore protections that ISPs like Comcast and Verizon and AT&T would want to take away in favor of slow laning or making restriction different for different sites.
The question is, do these lawmakers favor giving the power to like 7 executives? And that's what's so frustrating about it.
That's what's insane.
You have, well, it's even more frustrating that 3 committee members are going to give all the power of the internet to like 4 executives. Isn't that absolutely terrible, especially when, what was it, 85% of Americans think this is a bad idea. It is that kind of simple math. And all these internet companies are against it. All of the people who use the internet, that's you and me, are against it.
But a crazy majority.
A crazy majority. And it really is all. I can't understand a world in which you would be against net neutrality unless you would profit by slow laning people. It is taking the power away from the innovators, from the people who are the small upstarts who have done everything that you like on the internet.
You're taking away small business powers. You're taking away the free exchange of ideas. It doesn't make sense to most people. So what they need for this to work is one more senator to join the group that has already established themselves as supporting the people's access to the internet. That includes 47 Democrats, along with Senators Bernie Sanders, Angus King, and Republican Susan Collins, who seems to be the only Republican on this side at this point.
And Maine, yeah, she's kind of been the up for grabs type one in a lot of the decisions like this. But yes, it is so frustrating that you can go and point out all the campaign contributions that have been received by the folks who are against net neutrality. They all come from telecoms. And what it's doing is it's making the price of your internet access higher. It is making the price of small businesses higher. So you can't even say this is corporations versus workers.
It's big corporations versus everyone.
For corporations. It is like the list of people that you get to select for your cable providers is actually longer than the people this ends up benefiting.
Even some big companies are participating. Fight for the Future has shown that several larger internet companies are supporting the cause, including Reddit, OkCupid, Mozilla, Etsy, Vimeo, Imgur, Foursquare, Private Internet Access, Tumblr, Postmates, and a lot more. You can join this as well. There will be a major campaign planned for May 9th in which popular websites will be showing their support for this cause.
Right. The companies that aren't on this list are companies most likely that are owned by the corporations that will carve out benefits for those companies. The companies that need folks to be able to use the internet, to make more folks use the internet, and don't need the coddling of the federal government to enable major telecom companies to force you to use one internet service over another. This is a restriction of freedom. And they're gonna guise it under saying we're protecting the freedom of the corporate environment to find what's best for you. No, they're not. It's cronies. They're all stacking the deck against innovation and against your freedom to choose which kind of experience you want on the internet.
So you have to make noise in order to show, yes, I do care about my ability to have information and my ability to access, my ability to have access to this utility that, yes, I consider internet a utility at this point that enables a lot of work, a lot of just everyday necessities. So yes, this was our chance, if you join the Red Alert from Net Neutrality campaign, to force those people to be able to be held accountable for what they're doing. This is going to be our time to see who really stands with us and who is being paid not to, who values their constituents and who values their wallets. And then maybe they don't really value their seat because you can vote them out pretty soon, at least in the next few years. Audience, do you support net neutrality? I think you do. Will you show your support? Please use the Red Alert campaign, and please let us know on Facebook and Twitter.